Today we will talk about the 4 steps of surrender process. But before, why does it work? Why it's so powerful? What is the connection between surrender and spirituality? So the answers are in the universe again, as like we talked about it before. Concentrated consciousness created the universe. It's not a manager, it's not managing, it's not controlling. It's all about the experiment. So it's created, and then let's see what will happen. So when we surrender, we basically doing the same thing with the concentrated consciousness. So it's kind of like following the nature, being in the same frequency. So that's why it's so powerful and it really works. That also connects, spirituality and then the surrender. So, but there is a split. Concentrated consciousness is outside of the universe. It is in different conditions than us. We are in it, so we are subject to the duality. Then, it's obviously we have to protect ourselves, we have to survive, and we better even thrive. So we cannot surrender everything, of course, but there are certain times that we better do, because we can get a quicker result and it's less painless, and then the better result. But when, for example, things are out of our power and it's totally we can do nothing about it, but they are pretty dominant in our lives, or we are in the transition point of our lives, or we are in the limits of our power, like regarding working hard, creativity, imagination, name it. Or we feel it. We, whatever the subject is, just working hard, but it's like feeling that it should work but not work, it's just like feeling that things are just not right, like kind of swimming against the waves, just feeling that something is wrong. So in those times, this is surrender is pretty much the best option, but of course we always have choices. 4 steps are preparation to surrender, surrender process, after surrender, and then the result. So it comes to a point that I cannot do anything anymore. It's just like I'm enough, and so I decide to surrender. Preparation to surrender. Most likely I'm very stressed out, maybe frustrated too. So I don't try to relax, I don't do the meditation, I don't try to fight with like a stress. I try to to follow the nature. It's natural that I'm stressing out. So instead of focusing to relaxing, and I focus to believe. And it doesn't matter my eyes are open or closed. I say certain sentences to myself. It depends on like whatever comes to my mind first, and then whatever the most important things for me. Like I have no body, I have no name, I have no past, no future, no success, no dreams. Like, I just keep saying these sentences. um the point is, I'm trying to disconnect myself from this today's 3D reality. So when I start saying these words, my focus shifts. So I started automatically not stress out anymore. That's not the subject. I'm just trying to like leave. So this is like the old style radios, the way we had the knob that we were just like switching a little bit, just finding the channel, and just like that, being in certain frequency. So in some point, I see, like, instead of like my skin, I see like a white dots. There are gaps among them, and they start to like dissolve, and it's kind of like I start to feel my body different sensation. um, it's kind of like a feeling, instead of like me as an individual with everything that makes me, is being a part of an environment, like let's say on the air, and then being like a oxygen or something, just part of something, and but still having the consciousness, but kind of like melting there. So when that point comes that I already feel it from my body, my mind is more clear, nothing's comes to my mind, like other problems and chores and stuff like that, just feeling that moments. So then this surrender process starts. So I ask help. First I ask to archangels. Usually I add Archangel Raphael. It's responsible for the health and healing. I basically ask, take the stress out from me. That's the first thing. Making all this process much less painless for me. Then I depends on the subject, of course, but if, let's say, very difficult, nasty people are involved, and so I ask help from the Archangel Gabriel, because that's responsible with the communication. I don't say please, because it's kind of like begging, and kind of like being weaker and then they are higher kind of thing. So instead of that, like working like a team, so I say whatever it is. And I add some other angels to depends on the subject. Then since I'm a starseed, so I ask help from my starseed families, and then the guardian angels. Then because I feel the transition from like a now and then being there, so the believing the process that it will happen is very strong, and then feeling that they hear me, they will help because they helped me before. So the feeling those moments, then come back. And so after surrender process, it's not easy, it's not gonna happen in 2 seconds, it will take some time. And it's already, I'm on the edge probably, because it's enough, that's why I'm asking help. But instead of saying that, oh, it's not working, and then nobody's helping me, what's gonna happen, instead of that kind of conversation. And also, the words is very primitive way of communication, so words really have very little power basically. So I focus on the feelings. I focus on, like, when I feel like really really so down, um, remember how it feels to be like there and having that deep belief feeling. The sensations change, feeling, just be there, just the talking. Those moments, those how it made me feel. So it's kind of like going there, feeling it, and come back with that. It's kind of like anchoring to the 3D world. So feeling it that there is things are still in the process, and that's the only thing I need to know, because it's not about how it will happen. Like, I don't think about how it will happen, what's gonna happen, and trying to think about different scenarios. That's not my thing, because again, that's the whole point. If I could figure out by myself, I wouldn't need to surrender. So I try to also not to think about it, and I also tell myself, because things will still happen. So I say, this is the waiting time. I will just wait. Things will change. Try to react less, or not to react at all. Like, just try to be more, instead of involved too much, try to be more like just the watching and just waiting. Then the result starts. Somehow something happens, and then I see the result. So the first, of course, I'm very happy, but and also I know that I got a lot of help, and I always talk to them, even if it's totally finalized yet. Still a little bit, good things happens. I say, saying this, so grateful that they help. They always help. Without their help, it wouldn't happen, and I talk. So today it is this much.